President Trump now defiant and dismissive of that explosive whistleblower complaint against him.
It's a ridiculous story. It's a partisan whistleblower. They shouldn't even have information. I don't know the identity of the whistleblower. I just hear it's a partisan person.
Late tonight, new details about what's in that complaint, with the Washington Post reporting President Trump, in a July call, pressured the head of Ukraine to more aggressively pursue an investigation into political rival Joe Biden, according to two people familiar with the matter. One source indicated there was not an explicit quid pro quo in that call. NBC News has not independently confirmed the report.
But I can say that it was a totally appropriate conversation. It was actually a beautiful conversation.
But the president today would not say whether he brought up the Bidens.
It doesn't matter what I discussed, but I will say this. Somebody ought to look into Joe Biden's statement because it was disgraceful.
The president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, has suggested then Vice President Biden tried to stop an investigation into a Ukrainian company that named his son to its board, despite no evidence of wrongdoing by Joe Biden. Giuliani contradicting himself overnight.
Did you ask the Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden?
No, actually, I didn't.
So you did ask Ukraine to look into Joe Biden?
Of course I did.
Biden today.
Not one single credible outlet has given any credibility to his assertion.
House Democrats still demanding details from the Trump administration about the complaint.
This was about wrongdoing, and the idea that that complaint, which was intended for Congress, should instead end up in the White House is disturbing beyond belief.
And in a new statement late tonight, former Vice President Biden is calling on the White House to release any transcript of the call in question, adding if what's being reported is true, he says, there's no bottom to President Trump's willingness to abuse his power.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.